It's the Sunday service. The super dance team. Disco be a warning. Dooby dooby doo, dooby doo.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the, well, it's the Monday service. It feels really weird coming to you all on a Monday, but thank you for your patience in waiting for me to come on air. I've been delayed by my own idiocy and also by a cat that is deciding to climb on top of my chair. Frederick has been a total bellend all day and has been screaming at me in a way that has been very, very bloody dysregulating. And now he's chewing my hair. Stop chewing my hair. Season's greetings to you all. Now it's September. It is officially Halloween season. So I will be officially celebrating Goth Christmas because that is the only way to do things. So let's see who we've got in the chat tonight. We have got Diz, my faithful mod, who is batting off left, right and centre. Almost did the wanking off sign then. She's wanking off left, right and centre. All of the right. Who else have we got? We have got Chris C, faithful member. We have got, is Takedown having issues, says someone in the chat. No, actually, today it's just my own massive slowness. I'm very, very slow today, mentally and physically, I'm afraid. For once it's saying that I've got an excellent connection. That's rare. I haven't very often got an excellent connection. So how is everybody in the chat tonight? How are you suffering the onslaught of hysteria that has been plaguing our country over the last week since we last spoke? It's not getting any better, is it? It's actually getting so much worse. And today we had the clowns back in their clown college, otherwise known as Parliament, returning, which was something that we were all hoping a bit more was going to happen in terms of our Prime Minister actually behaving like a Prime Minister and saying something to try and downgrade the hysteria that's going on in the country of all the rampant flag fucking. But alas, we were all gravely disappointed by the fact that his response, Keir Starmer's response to a sharp uptick in all people of colour facing attacks from morons and racists, his response was essentially, I like flags, I have one in my house. I like flags, I have one in my house. Wow. Well, that's what we've all been waiting for. That is the calm, considered tone that we've all been waiting for. I like flags, I have them in my house. What, like, because you're Prime Minister? Every Prime Minister has the national flag in their gaff. That's how things are done. I laughed out loud, I'll admit, at that piss poor response. To give him his full quote, he talked about how he's got a flag in his house, and then he went on to say that he doesn't think that flags should be used for divisive reasons because he thinks that it's what's his exact? It devalues the flag. You mean the flag that's been used by the National Front since the beginning of time? Yeah. Anyway, there was less of a reshuffle than we were all expecting. Darren Jones has been moved to a new role, which is in charge of Keir Starmer's day-to-day priorities. What are they? What priorities? What are his priorities? Is Darren Jones gonna actually be given anything to work with? McSweeney's still in post. Interesting shit going down when it comes to comms, which is remarkable because I didn't think they actually had fucking comms. But we have got James Lyons, who was the director of strategic comms. Have you seen their Instagram lately? Have you seen their YouTube lately? It is cringe your tits off bad. Whereas you've got the left in America paying content creators an extraordinary amount of money to promote the talking points of the left in America. Whereas over here, they hire, Tortelloni straight out of, some posh university to work as kind of like media strategy in a fucking shitty office in which they make terrible out-of-date memes all day. That's what it is. So he's left after a year saying, it was never going to be a long job, I wasn't going to be in the job for long. No shit. And we've also got Tim Allen, who was the spad to Tony Blair, appointed to the government's executive director of comms, associating the existing DOC, Steph Driver, and Morgan McSweeney is still in post, fucking remarkably, still in post. So yeah, what are the day-to-day priorities exactly? What are the day-to-day priorities of this government? The bit of hope is, I've always liked Darren Jones. Like, I liked him on the select committees. I liked his balls. The balls that he showed. He's very sharp. And he has also tried to get the government, he's urged the government in the past to be more radical. So could this be a sign of them taking more of a bold approach? Because he's kind of like a Blairite era in terms of like reform. Not that reform. So he's more Blairite, I would say. Anyway, we've got some super chats. Why, man, hello. Okay, so we have got Sarah Davis. Thank you for the £2 super chat. Sorry I'm late. This is going on your record, Sarah. I'm going to log you. We've also got Loki6626. £10 super chat. Please take my dark money. I don't quite know what that means. Starmer's day-to-day priorities seem to be more monochrome than John Major, says Yurian Infectinov. I agree. It is just so... Like, I was talking to my friend who was visiting from Portugal. She's not Portuguese, but she and I were talking, and she is so bitterly disappointed in this Labour government. And I was like, well, yeah, aren't we all? And someone's saying in the chat that they think that they've had a rumour it might be one term or whatever. Like, they're guaranteeing with their strategy or lack thereof that it's going to be one term. Like, they are making it so. They are willing this into existence with their behaviour and their attitude, and the blue Labour approach, which is just a continuation Tory approach when it comes to things. Mind you, there has been some really interesting movement afoot in terms of the Rachel Reeves situation, because a lot of people are thinking that the autumn statement is coming up, that we're going to have tax rises, which we should absolutely implement tax rises on the rich, because obviously, and should also be implementing some form of inheritance taxation that will affect like the richest people, the broadest shoulders for fucking once under this Labour government taking the brunt of shit. And I would be 100% behind that. But their inaction, their refusal to condemn, their spinelessness when it comes to dealing with the burgeoning problem of the far right is just allowing conspiracy to flourish too. It's allowing people. I have seen people that normally seem reasonable, normally seem kind of quite informed and reasonable, believing mad conspiracy, like, oh, some people are not going to behave on the 13th, so what we're going to do is they're going to use that as an excuse to clamp down on us, and they're going to use it as a way to take away our rights, and freedom fight. Are you fucking insane? Like, if anything, this government is like a weak, meek bag of piss. It's not a far right government. Their inaction is the biggest issue here. So yeah, more and more people that seem to be completely reasonable are completely losing their shit, and it is getting to like Princess Diana levels of hysteria. But before I get on to that, got some super chats. Why, man? You're an infecting of 1972 £5 super chat. I won't apologise for doing a crafty wank. Ma'am, can I talk my winky behind my desk? Parliament, says Yuri. More shitty returns than a Temu warehouse. Very good. Very, very good. Very good. Veg Pie 6165 199 super chat. I Super Tansky. Sorry, I'm late too. You're also going on the register. Not like that. Not one of them. Not a bad register. My register of late comers and dawdlers. I can't say anything because I'm constantly late. Like I would be late to my own funeral, frankly. So yeah, I can't say anything. But I was thinking of the voices cracking me up. Do you want me to talk like a Newcastle voice? I have to do it really high though, man, or I can't continue it. I lose it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Someone has finally understood the K and the Gang reference in the title of my video this evening. Thank you, thank you. And I have to apologise for my hair because it's growing at like an alarmingly fast rate. And normally it's a bit curly. But today it's doing like this 70s. Like, what's going on here? It's because I haven't put any product in it and I've dried it. So I look a little bit like I've got 70s style hair today. But no one could look as bad as Boris Johnson. Have you seen that picture of him recently? He looks like, I don't know, like he's looking a bit Savile. And I don't mean Rowe, you know, I don't mean Savile Rowe. I can probably do the Daily Blase voice. What is it? It's Northern. Oh, good evening, Super Tansky. I can't do it. Like looking at moon. Good evening, chat. Do hope everyone is very, very well. I'm listening in as I'm editing, so good evening all. I'm going up to hill. Fuck me. Very, very bad. But I was thinking today about the hysteria around when Princess Diana died. Like 28 years ago. Today, we were waking up to the news that overnight, Queen of our Hearts, lovely woman, kind lady, deserved better than being a child bride for the aristocracy. Well, she was aristocracy, but I mean for the state. She deserved a lot better than what she got in her life. And she had been killed off, died in a car crash in Paris. And she died as a consequence of being hounded by the henchmen of a billionaire press who were obsessed with using her as copy. And she died in a car crash and everyone lost their shit. I remember it happening. I remember the day after it happening. And there was kind of like publicly grief anyway. There was a very public grief because people really connected with Princess Diana. And unfortunately, there's a kind of nefarious similarity between right-wing populists and between right-wing populists and the kind of billionaire press and their kind in terms of whipping up and perpetuating this level of like mad hysteria that we're seeing play out. And what is happening with the flag shagging can only be described as hysteria. There is no real factual basis for the things that they're getting upset about. There is no real threat, like they're thinking there's threat. Just like how the people didn't really know Princess Diana back in the day, but they were hysterical and they were crazy anyway. Someone's saying, check your brakes tomorrow. I don't drive, thank God. They'd have to take an entire bus out or a train. But just like that, we're seeing the same level of out of control support and the out of control hysteria, and what we're seeing in terms of the response from the Labour government. Back then, Tony Blair was a really good actor, so he was really good at pretending that he had his finger on the pulse. He had a really, really good comms team, and he knew precisely what to say, when to say it, and that was back when people still believed politicians. Now, nobody believes politicians. So, and Starmer isn't even trying to intervene, and he isn't even trying to put forward any form of different, policy or different turn of direction or legislation to try and curb the disinformation that is fueling this. He's just limply sitting there like a soft dick at an orgy, frankly. So I'm going to go up because I can see here in the super chat I've got a sort of chat. Why, hey man, it's Big Bob the Patriot. £5 sort of chat. Okay, so this is I'm gonna have to do this in my I'm gonna have to get out my best Essex now. All right, what up, Tan? I'm a British patriot. I need to smash up a hotel because Linda won't touch it anymore, even on my birthday. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry, Bob, but you probably don't deserve to have it touched, ever. I love the spelling mistakes. It's very realistic. You've really hit the nail on the head there. Although you did spell a big word, birthday, and I don't think that any of them could imagine ever being able to spell birthday. This is England, I saw earlier on a flag, spelled Ingland. Fucking hell. Unbelievable. Daily Blase, you're being very kind, but that northern accent was proper shit. Can't even do a partial northern accent. Fucking hell. APX24. APX24. I'll be a private dancer, dancing for money. You've just got the Tina Turner effect because you have... Fucking hell. Super chatted. Why, hey man, it's a £50 super chat. I've been wanting to do this for ages, says APX24. He's getting the fancy voice. Thanks for everything. You've been keeping me sane over the past few months. You are bloody welcome. That's unbelievable. Thank you so much for your support. I do appreciate it. If I close my eyes, I'll probably fall asleep. Unbelievable. But no, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is a wildly large one, said the Tory to the... I'm not going to finish that sentence. I'll get cancelled. So, we're seeing mass hysteria. We're seeing people wanking rigorously over their flags. We are seeing unchecked levels of embarrassment. Did you see those lads all with England flags on their shoulders climbing up a fucking ladder? Looked like the shittest like Monty Python sketch I've ever seen in my life. Did you see middle-aged vampire and failed pop star contestant, or pop world contestant? I don't know what one he was on. Did you see him on This Morning? I've got a little treat for you guys, actually. Yeah, I've got a little treat for you. When I finished here, if there is enough time when I finished here, which there should be, I am going to upload my Rylan Takedown. Like, the words that I never imagined that I would have to say are, this is me destroying Rylan Clark. But destroy him I shall. I've prepared a thorough beatdown of every talking point that he makes in that video and backed it up with pure facts. Firstly, I'm afraid you've given up on life if you name your child Rylan. I mean, that's not even a word. What is it? Like a cross between Ryan and Dylan? What kind of who walks around looking like an aging vampire in this day and age with a name like fucking Rylan? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you know what? He dyes his hair. He can try and deny it. He dyes his fucking hair, she says, with dyed hair. But, you know, you've just seen something you rarely see, which is like the underside of my scalp. I look a little bit metal there. I have got a head under here. But someone just said his real name's Small as Dickius. Probably. But it's like a good 17 minutes long. It's actually, so you guys are aware, it's my first ever video that's in the format of like flipping landscape. It's my first ever landscape picture video. What the fuck, I even fucking think today. So yeah, all right. Oh, hello. We've got another sort of chat. You're going to make me talk Geordie all night. Let's see, I'm losing it already. I'm going Lancashire. Why, hey man, it's Dodger, 37 and 1999 super chat. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. No comment. He's just leaving it there. She or they. He, she or they. Leaving it there just as it is. And then just swanning off into the night like a fucking bad bastard. Well done. Why, it's Kirsty Hamilton. 2521 with a 499 super chat. Pete Wishart asked the Parliament to stop the hate rhetoric against asylum seekers. Well, who's he? He doesn't come to mind immediately. I'm going to look him up. Why not? We're all friends here. Let's have a look. Doing a little bit of live Googling here, which is always fun. He is a member of Parliament. Oh, he's an SNP. He's an SNP lad, of course. They are actually decent people with morals, most of them lads. I love the Scottish. And I'm not only sucking up to the Scottish because I hope that they will give me asylum at some point in the future. It's because I've always liked the Scottish. Sorry, I'm trying to sort my camera out. It's a bit too far away from me, and it is giving me pause. Oh, look, you can nearly see Fred there. There's little Fred. Okay. I'm surprised that there's not more tech issues already, actually, because we know how it goes, don't we? So let's have a little look. He dyes his teeth too, someone says here of Ryland. Rylan. I always go to call him Ryland. Ryland? It's a stupid name, man. And he's really stupid. Someone was saying to me, do you think that Rylan is far right? And I'm like, no, he's just a fucking idiot. Like, he's an idiot that's given a platform to be an idiot. And that's the problem that we have here. Sorry, I need to get rid of this. Tan, tell us, says Hack Solar 5548 with a 499 super chat. Tan, tell us, why is Essex so right wing? I don't think there's a Labour MP anywhere in Essex. There is in my town. There is in my town. There is. We've got one of the very few Labour MPs in the entire county. So I'm kind of possibly doxing myself slightly here with this. But there is a Labour MP here, but I think I'll give you as someone that is unfortunate enough to have lived. Oh, that's why it's going funny. Hang on a minute. Okay. Sorry, I'm bringing you closer to me, my pretties. Closer and closer. Right, okay. That better? It's gone very slow. It's gone very, very slow. Let me check my connection 1 second before I... It's saying it's got an excellent connection. I don't believe it. I don't believe that's true. So, why is Essex so right-wing? There's a few reasons. One of the primary ones is the whole, what I call the rub-off effect. Not like that, you dirty bastards. I mean in terms of people will make a bit of money probably, or they did make a bit of money and they achieved kind of like middle-class status. And then they thought they had a bit of capital, they had a bit of property, and they thought that the Tories would help them keep hold of more of that capital or their property, despite it being extremely modest. And that will cause them to therefore go more right-wing because they have, in terms of the social contract, elevated themselves to a position of having the things that we should all just have, but yet we don't have. So things like a home or a functioning business, a bit of disposable income, possibly a second home abroad in Benidorm or something like that. So they tend to think that will be, if they're working class done good, they think that's going to give them the ability to keep hold of more of their money, and they think the Tories are naturally the people that are going to do it. And then they start to turn their back maybe on the kind of upbringing that they had, and they try to distance themselves from it, and they start to blame everything on like poorer people than them, and don't want to give any of their money away to the welfare state. And then they start believing all the bullshit rhetoric that was put out. Because if you remember, the very people that are climbing up poles now and they are trying to assert their Britishness are just properly frozen. Sorry, are the same people. They're the very same people that were on Benefit Street years ago being run into the ground by Tory politicians who were trying to use them as a scapegoat. Now they've got a new scapegoat, which is immigrants. So they're now managing to bank on the very short memories of the people that they were trying to get to hate, who they were trying to get everyone in the middle classes to hate. So there's also the fact that if you are raised by a family that is kind of poorer, you're more likely to read things like tabloids and The Sun and believe all that shit. And then you become right-wing through a kind of like radicalization process via the tabloids. And I've seen that happen a lot too with dirt poor people who self-loathe, who think that believing the bullshit will make them better off, and they're so far down the rung that they need someone to stamp on. And therefore the perfect solution to that is asylum seekers. That's just my take on it. There's many more other reasons. There's boredom. There's the sheer scale of the psyops that are being pushed out by moneyed millionaires and such. But that's just off the top of my head what I think is the thing that's kind of pushing it. Urine Infectinov, member for 4 months. Ryland Takedown sounds... That's just disappeared off my screen. Ryland Takedown sounds like the worst roller coaster ride ever. Boosh. Ryland Takedown. It's quite ironic that you mention roller coasters, because most of the people that are rioting wouldn't even be able to get on Nemesis because they're so fucking tiny. Essex has had a few Labour MPs. Southend, yeah. But there is also a lot of, Sorry, I'm just trying to move everything around whilst on air because I'm so fucking professional. You don't get this professionalism anywhere else, just so you're aware. So, North Essex isn't as right-wing. You say that, but just across the coast, sadly, to the east of us, is Farage's constituency. You go north of that to Yarmouth, where they're literally going to be holding a Nazi festival. Rupert Lowe. They know how to go after the poor. Nowadays, we also, in addition to what we used to have that I was going on about, we have far-right populists targeting the poorest in society with disinformation and conspiracy. So, keep going, Takedown. Fuck off. Oh, why, yay! Down under star. 3941, we got a £15 super chat. That's just getting higher and higher. Let me see how high I can get it, shall I? Because it's not annoying. You're annoying. Met Raylan a couple of times. His real name's Ross. He puts on Raylan as its public costume. I was gobsmacked by what he said. He's usually far more considered and thought out. Plonker. Yeah, you've met him a couple of times. His real name's Ross. Wow, okay. Well, that makes a bit more sense. It reminds me of League of Gentlemen. Beg me, Ross. Oh, wow, I can go even brighter, apparently. That's not such a bad thing. Oh, dear. Consider turning down video settings. I don't know how to turn down video settings, OBS. It really does not make any sense. Maybe that will do it. Maybe that will help. You've met him a couple of times. I mean, he has been hanging out with that Bosch wanker. We all know who that is. You know, the Bosch. Who would have known that he would cash in on all this? So, sorry, I'm just going down. Going down, down, down in the chats. Have I missed anything here? I don't think I have, actually. I don't think I have. My computer's a bit slow this evening, much like all the fucking race rioters. Yes, I say this in my video. I make reference to the absolute hypocrisy compared to Gary Lineker, who didn't even say anything on television about his political views. Neither did Vorders. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. What is going on here? Oh, it might be that. Maybe that will make life a bit easier. Yeah, I think I've just made it. I think I've just fixed it. I've fucking fixed it. It is... I've just been distracted by my own phone. Open widget. My stream health is not good. Which is not good. 1 second, I just need to sort out my thing. Won't be a sec. There's a little bit of music for you whilst I sort my shit out. Okie doke. So, okay. I think we're doing very, very, very slightly better. I might have to completely close my YouTube studio, which is so fucking helpful at this stage. Can you tell me if it's laggy, please? Is Graham here? Is Graham in the chat? I love that Farage is a minge, says someone. I'm freezing, man. Right, that's it. I've got to get rid of my studio. Right, I'm doing this. I've gone back to doing this blind now. So I need to pull this up on my phone because I've got really poor internet connection. So I'm just going to have a little look and see if I've missed anything. I don't think I have, actually. So what are you guys all talking about in the chat whilst I'm being an absolute flipping spanner? The Essex effect is also what happens when people with lower self-esteem and a lot of fear turn to nationalism as a prop. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at, or trying to get at previously. What a fuck. A Nazi festival in Great Yarmouth. I'm disgusted, says someone in the chat. And yes, it's they're putting on a kind of like far-right festival in Great Yarmouth that's previously been shot down. I don't think it was even happening under the Tories. So that's very, very disturbing, and not something that any of us wants to see in our lifetimes, a return to far-right music festivals. If they're as bad at music as they are at comedy, it's probably going to be a very shit weekend, put it that way. It's probably going to be way worse. But oh no, someone from Tyneside is in the group. I fucking fixed it. Wait, that was the worst. That was technically Australian. I fucking fixed it, mate. Right said Fred, headlining. Possibly, very possibly so. Charlie says good night, says Urine Infectinov. Good night, Charlie. Good night, Charlie. Oh, this is so sweet, man. That's one of my like favourite things. I'm just gonna say good night, Charlie, every week anyway. Yeah. Oh, bless him. Hello, Charlie. I'm talking to you from inside the telly box. So there are loads and loads and loads of things that feed into far right nationalism, says Diz, and you're absolutely spot on there. And you're right about how inequality increases dissent and makes people vulnerable. But there's also a number of things that because I've been really heavily researching this lately, and there's a number of like really clear, obvious reasons how they do it. Like we've talked about this until the cows come home. So stoking racism and conspiracy helps them deflect blame. So it's a get out of jail free card for them. So if people are preoccupied with the invaders, they're less likely to blame those billionaires and millionaires that are still getting the tax cuts despite the fact that their local council is broke. And when people look around their community and they see that things aren't working, as they have not for like 14 years, and you've got someone there that's been carefully cultivated by the government for you to blame, it's going to be a lot easier for you to kick down and blame people that are kind of quite visible that might have landed in your town in recent years than it is to look up at the political class. Although a lot of people are becoming more disillusioned with the political class too. And doing this all helps them to consolidate power, right? So fear makes people vote for strong leaders who promise to be tough on said scapegoat, right? Even though those leaders created the crisis, it's like double think, because a lot of people know that the people that are claiming to fix it, deep down they know that they caused it, but they just want some form of easy solution. They want an easy solution to their problem, so they just lie to themselves and they go into full double think mode. They'll know two contradictory things. They'll know it's not true, that you'll want to believe it, and this erodes solidarity. So racism divides the working classes because black and brown people are obviously working class too. And it limits unified resistance against any form of economic exploitation. So they do not have if you don't have a united poor group of people or lower working class or working class people, you do not have a unified resistance against the people that are exploiting you. So it's disparate, right? And their bases become radicalised via conspiracies, fear, anger, and it keeps the most outraged motivated. So they're the people that will go out and mobilise for protests or give their money to fucking idiots that are trying to do like Dover protests or twats like Tommy Robinson. So they're actively engaged because they're fueled purely by emotions. And this creates, all of this combined creates an endless distraction loop. So whilst the poor fights itself and fights amongst itself, you've got the politicians, their donors making major bank. Farage made just under $1 million last year. And why do people fall for it? Why? Because fear is massively, massively powerful. If they think that there's any form of threat to their culture, to their safety, to their identity, that will generate a feeling in them that will override all logic and evidence to the contrary. And when you're in a radicalization loop, or you're in a conspiracy pipeline, you're not going to believe facts because you're in full doublethink mode. You might deep down know it's bullshit, but you've got the sunk cost fallacy coming in. You've given enough time and effort to this particular thing, so you're not going to backtrack on it. And repetition works too well. So the familiarity of constant headlines, sound bites, fuels them and makes them feel like they're accurate. And the emphasis and the familiarity, the reinforcement, the confirmation bias comes into play, and it forges this like tribal loyalty in them. So they've got this tribal loyalty to their people. These are people that might not have had much to do before, or much to focus on before, or much else going on in their lives. And it gives, particularly the men, the sense of homo-romantic brotherhood that they want from other men, because they're truly, unfortunately, in a patriarchal society, the only people that they actually respect are other men, especially as women's rights fucking plummet under far-right populism. So then, finally, there's hopelessness. So when their life feels out of control, conspiracy theories provide a sense of order and an explanation for what's going on in their lives. So it's an easy solution. It's an easy solution. Oh no, and sorry, finally, there is also the added aspect in all of this of deprivation. So there's insecure work, living in rundown areas, struggling to pay bills. You're more likely to feel abandoned by the system, and in this case, the system is the political class, and more open to easy fixes and latching on to scapegoats, and be more receptive to anger or fear-based narratives because they mirror your daily stress. And then there's the eye line effect, which is the way in which products are sold to people in supermarkets at the eye line. And who is at our eye line? Daily reform. And we've got a Labour government that is fucking failing on every level and feeling more and more on the back foot because they've not got the balls to take a stand for what's right. And that's saying this is hysterical, like this is racism, and it needs to be stamped out. Anyway, I think I've got a super chat. I'm going to scroll up because I have been ranting there for quite a while. Yes, I have. Thanks for coming to my tan talk. Don't even know who Ted is, frankly. Stephen Merriman, thank you for the €2.49 super chat. This logical conclusion of Thatcher-Reagan plan? Possibly. I don't know which part that is referring to there. You might need to kind of let me know. Oh, hello. Stephen Merriman, thank you again for the €2.49 super chat. War on workers. It's getting progressively worse, isn't it? War on workers, now the same for middle class. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much of a middle class. Middle classes? Fucking middle classes? The thing that pisses me off about it is all these millionaires that are kind of like pushing this bullshit. They live off assets, dividends, capital gains. Their bases live off fucking benefits and are eaten alive by inflation and like skyrocketing rents and debt. And political influence is something that, despite being wealthy, Farage and Tice, etc., all want because it buys them something that their millions could never buy them. And that is essentially political immunity. It is like, what's that word for? Diplomatic immunity. And it's also a level of status that they could never get as a regular businessman. They're not in this. They're in this in the long game. The reason that the papers and everyone's supporting them is because in the long game they want deregulation, privatisation. Fuck fuck me, I fucked that up. They're not in it for the MP salary. They're in it because controlling the political narrative protects and grows their wealth, as we're just a skull to step on for them to get up to the next kind of rung of power. Because that is how it works. Stephen Merriman, 5620. Thanks for the 249 euro super chat. Conclusion, techno-feudalism, my man. I can explain more. I know, mate, I know what techno-feudalism is. And this is very much techno-feudalism. Very much so. It's a... And the problem is, at this point, we've never had a situation, I think, where people are more susceptible to it, because all the tools in order to radicalise are just literally at their fingertips, and they don't even have to put much effort into getting people to come on board, because we've got all of the things that I've mentioned conflating at once to create this pressure cooker of shit. So they're just using people that were let down by the former government, which they were almost all supporters of, by the way. Tory, Farage, Lowe, Tory, all supported the former government. So they have the money, the social power to be visible and to own the story. And like I said in my previous video, it's like an all year round party political broadcast of division and hatred. And now we've got that wrong-cocked rocket shagger commenting again on British politics. The richest man in the world. I wonder what his game is. I wonder why he might want to be getting involved in the democracies of all the different countries in the world. So they'll get social power, they'll get contracts, they'll get donors' money, they'll be visible. Meanwhile, they'll dismantle the things that we have long fought for, like workers' rights, workers' protections, union rights. They'll privatise public services in order to protect their wealth and increase it. Because by the time all those thickos have clocked on and all those radicalised people have clocked on, it will be way too late, and we will be deep in the shit, just like in America. So they're using their personal wealth for this. And there's something around this that I've researched recently. We've got the AstroTurf campaigns. We've got the targeted ad campaigns, but we've also got propaganda infrastructure, which is kind of feeding the machine with really carefully crafted narratives. And a lot of that is where the political interference comes in, because a lot of it has all the hallmarks of like Russian interference jobs. So I've got a super chat here. It's Joanne Mason, 5581 with a £5 super chat. And as if Labour couldn't get any worse, they appoint a former trustee of sex matters to the post of comms chief. Yeah, I know. Starmer and Labour have not been praised by me this evening. Put it that way. Oh, that's a little bit more calm on my eyes. I might leave that on for a little while. I look a bit orange though, don't I? I've got to keep it on. Got to keep on keeping on. Might turn it down slightly though. Get a little bit more of a chilled out vibe happening here in the thing at the moment. So I was away on vacation and missing your OCD rants. You rock. Thank you, Jose. So I know all about Curtis Yarvin. Yeah, Curtis Yarvin was one of the chief architects that was the person that they all listened to. Like he was the guy that inspired like Peter Thiel. And he went under he was just like this weird blogger. It was kind of like the American rights version of Jacob Rees-Mogg's dad's book, Blood on the Streets. You know, the Sovereign Gentleman, or the Sovereign Individual. Stephen Merriman, 249 super chat. Exactly, no social safety net. Health, not a right. that is what's coming over the hill, my friend. Like that frog-faced shithouse looming, you know, looming over the hill. Pete Q60, thank you for the £5 super chat. Saw another one, saw a good one the other day. There are two types of people: those who think millionaires have their best interests at heart, and those that think. Very, very good. Very good. Oh, have we got Rose Pierre in the chat? My buddy, my pal, Rose Pierre. I'm going to be on Rose Pierre's show this week. I don't know, it might possibly be tomorrow, or it might be Friday. But I'm going to be a guest on Max Rose Pierre's show. Stephen Merriman, thank you for the €2.49 super chat. Plan was take away all rights won post World War II at Lee. Super chat, man. Yes, quite. Hey, Max is in the house. I hope it's not. I hope it is actually Max. And it's not someone pretending to be Max just to say hello to me. Don't think that would happen. Yeah, I'm going to be on Max's show this week, which I'm really looking forward to because I've always had lots of fun. Whenever I did the Sunday roast with Political X and Max, that was always loads and loads of fun. But yeah, thank you for that, Stephen. Some really good points that you're coming out with here. Yarvin, people need to look him up because he blogged. I've not got it in this book of notes, but he blogged under a different name and I can't remember it off the top of my head. But what I was talking about just a little while ago is, yeah, I'm hoping for tomorrow. I've got a bit of a sore throat though. I really hope I'm not coming down with the resurgence of Rona. Ma Rona. Yeah, the propaganda infrastructure is the thing that we really need to hone in on, and I'm going to be making a video on this week about the guy that is behind the Institute for Migration Control or something like that. I'm going to make a video on him because he is just a reformer that's claiming to be someone through a think tank. So what they do is they're made up think tanks under their kind of propaganda infrastructure, manipulating stats. As I said, Centre for Migration Control. And then you've got economic victimhood pushed as a line, which is kind of claiming that Britain is broken or London is under siege, whilst almost simultaneously, simultaneously claiming that they are patriots, and people are broke, and people are broken, and they're not, because we're not all cunts like them. It's down to them. And then we've got cultural fear, which is painting diversity, i.e. inclusion, as threats to Britain, even though that kind of like bigoted shit is something that we've evolved way past. And all this shit is further amplified by the Telegraph, the Sun, the Daily Mail, whose existence and survival relies upon clicks and sales, and what sells, what's profitable, hate, division, outrage. So the reason that Rothermere, Barclay, Murdoch, etc. pay into all this is because they want deregulation. They want to carry on paying fuck all tax. And alongside this, Reform and their droids churn out content on TikTok, playing huge sums for reach and or sucking the teat of Elon Musk. So, and then you've got the algorithms which reward emotionally charged divisive content. And it's just this one big fucking bullshit illusion of mass consensus. It's a radicalization loop and it's a feedback loop. And Labour are sitting there completely failing to do anything about any of it, paralysed, going, what we'll do is just pretend to be Reform and Labour. That will sort it out. No, it fucking won't, because people know you're not Reform. They know you're not Labour, and they're not going to give you a vote because they're too fucking radicalised by all that shit I've just been talking about to believe that you're anything other than a liar and the enemy, even though Keir Starmer is the most fucking mild man. He's not, he's many things, but he's not like far right. He's just fucking useless. So those that are targeted are in a precarity trap, essentially. So there's time poverty, working multiple jobs, don't check the facts, information inequality, emotional priming. Their economic precarity breeds fear, resentment, and a sense that someone must be to blame. Enter Sandman, enter the immigrants, enter the trans people, enter the disabled, enter the people that may be a bit more poor than you, that might need a bit of benefits, who you're supposed to still look down on, despite the fact that they all claim they're championing you as the working classes, and on it fucking goes. Rich propagandists know their audience. They know them. And their audience doesn't have the time to scrutinise or the energy to dig deeper, or due to conspiracy culture, won't believe half of the real trustworthy journalists that are trying to tell them that they're being conned. They'll only know when they feel the pain of living under the reality of a far-right government. And then by then, like America, it could possibly be too late. Brilliant. Anyway, super chats. Need to take a sip after that. Mohammed Wayayman, it's Mohammed Shakil Qureshi. 303 Wayayman, my voice went very dangerously into the wrong territory there. I must apologise. £5 super chat. Thank you very much. Wink, I'm getting out of that one very quickly. Dace Tanton 2885. £10 super chat, thank you very much. How to piss off MAGA. Start calling the USA, lower Canada. Very good. Very, very good. I'm clashing with a Reaganolite live. Reaganolite. That sounds familiar to me. I feel like I know who that is. Urban Infectinov. Thank you for the £2 super chat. Charlie said, thank you. Lovely tan lady. Oh, thank you, Charlie. Here's a little heart for you. Thank you very much for saying good night. Monday service doesn't sound right, Tam. We need a M, like Monday Madness Medley Mayhem. I'm not trying to radicalise you all. So I don't need to make everything rain, man. PJ, my eyes. Welcome to Fuck the Tories, Loki 6626. Boom! Hicks Design. Better setup, Tan, though that mic needs even more gain, more proximity to your voice hole. Yeah? Is this better? Is this better for you all? Yeah, it is kind of far away because I've got my book and everything going on. And now my lighting's not working properly. Work, you bish. Work, 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 work. Darren De Star. 3941. Thank you for the £10 super chat. Political X has a book out, Manufactured Fear. It's thoroughly well thought out and argued, and it's beautifully written. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, my buddy Opal has got a book out. It's on my bookshelf, actually, I think, somewhere. I think it's on my bookshelf. Oh, no, it's actually... his book is actually in my bedroom. I've been curling up at night with the beautiful Alex Kerr's new political book, Manufactured Fear. You can get it online somewhere. Just type Manufactured Fear by Alex Kerr into your Google browser. It is brilliant. I've been reading it in bed at night. So give it a look. He's very forensic with it. He's a very clever man and a friend of mine. So I would highly recommend that. Lee Jackson, 623. Change painted England flags by simply putting RNLI in the corners. Very, very good. Very good. We need that after all the ranting. Viper Scott 1, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. The £5 super chat. Tan, who do you want to be PM to fight the crap on MSM? I've always, I keep saying that if I had a choice of who to make Prime Minister, I would choose Clive Lewis, like hands down. He's absolutely amazing. Oh, sorry. I've got a really sore throat. I feel like I'm coming down with something, and me and my friend were just talking incessantly at each other because we've both got ADHD. And I'm ranting tonight, and I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice. So we'll have to see how it goes, Max. I might be voiceless. I might be a voiceless wonder tomorrow. So we've also got a super chat here from Mark Ewan Roberts. Hope I said that correctly. Sad that the optimism of the Labour win has evaporated. The electorate is ripe for being the easy and unworkable solutions of reform. Absolutely, absolutely. What I was alluding to earlier. Well, not alluding to. I was going into deep detail about. So I'm going to make a video out of everything that I was just talking about. They're my notes for my next video. So by being on my Monday service today, you've got a kind of heads up on what I have been writing and will be recording tomorrow. But the problem that we've got with everything that's going on in terms of the racism. Hang on, I just need to make sure I haven't missed. Oh, oh goodness me, I've got more. Sorry, hang on a minute. The Sunday service always reminds me of Black Grapes, Reverend Black Grape, Supertansky. I feel like I should know what that means. Black Grapes. Stephen Merriman, thank you for the €249 super chat. 55 Tustin Street, Institute of Economic Affairs on BBC. Yeah, just like the Centre for Migration Control, which is, I think his name's Robert Bates, and he is a reform activist. He's not a fucking think tank. It's a limited company that is exclusively him, in which he puts out cherry-picked stats to try and with like very tiny print. It's like on the shampoo adverts when you get 39 of 100 women agree, you know, that kind of bullshit. The lighter is for my candle. I've got a candle, but I didn't put it on because it's flickering. Pete Q60, thank you for the £2 super chat. Same vape mod as me, but I don't use a lighter. Yeah, this is a ex-priv. Actually, I might have a little vape. Someone's put political X's. That was too much. I'm not going to do that again on camera. Someone has put his link in the thing. For Viper Scott has put the link for Political X's book, so thank you for that. Saul, you getting that dark money tan, $6.50 a month? I'm raking it in. Yeah, I'm just like all the rich lads. I am just like cash rules everything around. Dollar bills, y'all. I'm just wondering. I just hope I haven't forgot anything. Sad that the Labour win evaporated. Yeah, I've starred that. I've got that. Oh, I think we're up to date, actually. Because I am going to be going in the next little while, I'm probably going to go up for another like 10-15 minutes. And then I need to let you all know that my good friend, Graham Hughes, I was going to make my stream go into his stream, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. But I want to let you know that my good buddy pal, Graham, has got Stateside coming up at 10 p.m. on this here YouTube on Politics Social, and you can find him under the handle, I think it's actually Graham Politics now, but if you go onto Politics, no, it is Politics Social still, the header for his Stateside, which goes into like a deep dive of American politics, is he dead yet? Stateside with Scott Williams. So he's on tonight with Scotty, Too Hottie, everyone's favourite sexual harassment panda, as I like to call him. He will be on live with him this evening. If you bear with me a second, I just need to try and open up my studio. Studio. I don't think I can get back into my stream once I've gone live. Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I can. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to see how that plays out though, or whether or not it will let me do it still. But yeah, so he's up at 10 talking about the fact that it has not happened yet, and we all want it to happen, but it's refusing to happen. And we all know what it is, and none of us have to say it. No, none of us have to say it. We all want it to happen, don't we? We all do. So, for the next, let's face it, I'll probably end up going up to 10, or I'll probably end about 5 to 10, I imagine, to give you a bit of time to put the kettle on, make a cup of tea, before you go over to Viper Scott, who is the bloody link master this evening, and watch Stateside. So. Da 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 da. Ba, 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 ba. That's my little interlude music to ask you, have you got any questions? Biggity biggity bong. Have you got any questions for me? Keep it clean. It's a family show. Twats. Never happening. Why, man? You know? I've no idea why I've gone Geordie tonight. I'm not happy about it. It's not making me very happy. I'm starting to get husky. I'm going to get a sexy voice. Fuck me sideways with a metal broom. I'll be a private dancer, dancing for money. What the fuck? £100 super chat from Marvin Richards 12. You just made me swear very badly. Bloody hell! I don't have a graphic. All I can do is my private dancer, dancing for money. Okay. I think... Oh no, is this Brummie? I think y'all deserve a holiday, like. Let's start a fun to get you to fuck. Y'all accents are as good as y'all singing. From Birmingham. From bloody Birmingham, innit? Which is where my friend Femi's from, I think. I think Femi... Bloody hell, thank you. Thank you very much for the excessively large super chat. I don't say that to all the lads. You know. I said sexual harassment, Panda, not textual harassment. Although Scott has been known to textually harass people, not in a pervy way, like in a jokey way, by saying "give me your nudes," you know. But yeah, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I do not do a good Irish accent, and I'm not going to attempt it. I don't need to be killed. Thank you very much. And I'll never attempt Scottish for the same reason. Like, you don't fuck with the Scottish or the Irish. They will murder you. So yeah, I won't do that. But thank you so much, Marvin Richard. That is really, really kind of you. Thank you. Very, very nice. You made me say F me sideways with a broom, and I don't know where that came from. But no. Hyper chat, mega chat's £50, hyper chat's 100. It's a hyper chat, not a mega chat, a hyper chat. Bloody hell. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll print it all out in tenors and just do that. Just like make it rain. But that would involve me having to go into a bank. And there's pretty much no chance that I'm ever going to be caught in a bank unless I've finally found a way to rob it. Oh my God. Bear with me a second. There was just a really scary sound. Oh my God. What was that? There was just a really loud noise in my house. Right. Bear with me just a second. I don't do this often, but I'm going to have to see what the fuck that was. Edie. doing? What are you actually doing? Right. Okay. I am returning. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry about that. I had to get this as self-defense because Edie decided to knock something off the side downstairs and it made me shit my pants. So here we go. God, that was actually scary. That was actually really, really scary. I'm assuming it was the cat because there's nobody down there. So, but because I brought my light upstairs to do the stream, all I had in the lounge was an eerie red glow from my lava, like my rock salt lamp, my salt rock lamp. I'm out of breath now. You're getting a bit of Oni tans. I assume it was the cat. I don't know. But me and my bit of broom, dear God. This is why we know the world isn't flat. If it were, cats would have knocked everything off the side. I want to knock my cats off the side. After that, I'll tell you. Right. Oh yeah, I was talking about brooms. Yeah. Well, it's the first thing that I could grab as a weapon. So it's better than nout. It's better than nout. So, have you got any questions for me whilst I recover from shitting my pants? Have you got any questions? Really want to see those fingers. Really want to see those fingers. God. Dear God. Dear God. Yeah, I get really, really, really... Did Tech Nan fall down the stairs? What? I'm a tech nan, not an actual nan. I'll have you know. So, wow. Yeah, again, thank you, Marvin. That was like such an amazing thing. Oh God, that was so scary. I've never had to leave a chat before. So that's a first time. Okay, we've got a question finally. Yuri Nymphectinov, 1972. Is Eid still a massive shit flap? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yeah, my good friend Aid is a monumental shit flap. He actually sent a message to the political group chat this evening doing this, like a gif of him doing this, like all you could see was this in his hand. And he said, I think it was like waiting for it to happen or like watching the... Aid was really good for the knife gifs back in the day where he'd just be like talking, he'd like do a little gif, he's just like... And then he'd just pull out a knife and like look at the... Aid's a lot of fun in a group chat, man. I love that man. I love Aid dearly. He's one of my good friends. Jane West, 2845. I see a question. What happens when reforms, deportations don't improve voters' lives? It doesn't improve voters' lives. And they'd have already voted for it. And they will see the reality of what they've voted for. But they'll have to feel the pain, won't they? Because they're so fucking easily radicalised by shit that they'll just invent a new con or a new distraction. The thing that's really pissed me off about all of this is just how thick so many people are and how readily people can just believe the most obvious bullshit in the world. That's the thing that angers me the most out of it. Like, are you actually thick? This is like the most obvious con in the world. And another thing that Aid said, bastard, he's always good at the jokes, was like, if he'd known people were this stupid, he'd have set up more pyramid schemes. And I'm like, absolutely. Absolutely. Question, did Aid work out so he could have a beach body ready photo for his stream? I don't know what you're talking about. This is like Aid chat now. I don't know. what you're referring to. I don't really want to know. Are you hoping for Zach Polanski to win the Green Party leadership election? Am I fuck? Can't stand Zach Polanski. He's markedly disingenuous. He comes across like he's had loads of NLP and media training, and he's just not trustworthy as far as I'm concerned. And he also tried to tell women that they could think their tits bigger. So he's also into like homeopathy and all that bullshit. No, thank you very much. We don't need another middle class, privately educated guy in charge of a fucking left wing party. Thank you. Letting it all out tonight. I'm letting it all out tonight. Armed with a broom. I've still got the fucking broom, and I'm not letting go. Don't let go, Jack. You'll never let go. Me and my ghost. Too spooky tonight, I'm afraid. It's too spooky. When are you doing your tour of Scotland? A tour of Scotland. I want to go up to Scotland. I'd love to go up in the autumn, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So it'll probably have to be spring, I imagine, because you don't want to do Scotland in the winter. I would, though. I'd like to do Edinburgh in the winter. It's lovely in the snow and the rain and the grey. I want to go about in like little brown boots and like plonk around. A lot of other people don't trust Zach. I just don't. I just can't stand him. I just really, there is something very off with him. He's not, I don't think he's an honest man. I've got a really good bullshit detector, and I can usually feel this, you know, I can feel it. Viper Scott 1, thank you for the £2 super chat. Tan, new leader of Scottish Green has been voted. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's a good thing. I don't know. I'm not really as on top of the Greens, I have to admit. I love the way I'm looking at my analytics on my screen, and it's showing me that the moment that I left to go and see whether or not I was going to be murdered was the time at which everyone decided to just leave. A bunch of people just decided to leave the stream. How could you not want to know what was going to happen? I would be glued to that screen, like just waiting for the peril. Darren De Star 23941. Do a collab with Scottish History Tours YouTube channel. The last would be fantastic. I'd love to. Scottish History Tours. Yeah, I need to check them out. Actually, I don't know about them. Yuri says that in what's it? It's just gone off my screen. Edinburgh in autumn is stunning. One of my favourite places to photograph. Yeah, I would love to get my brown boots on, get my autumn colours on, stomp around with a brolly. I wouldn't even mind if it rained. Oh yeah, this is my co-presenter, Stick. You're gonna like him more than me. You're gonna wish that I was. I really still need to do my tour of the Outer Hebrides, which I was planning to do before COVID hit. So, Stephen Merriman 5620. Thank you for the €249 super chat. Christ was paying money in a bank. Jesus saves. Wow. I don't know what that's in reference to, or if that's just a statement. Let me know in the chat generally. Like, you don't have to send a super chat, and I will, if you want to elaborate on that. I wouldn't mind if it rained. I like rain. In Scotland, I've seen Scotland in the rain. It's like Paris in the rain. Paris was gorgeous in the rain. Everything just looks like a lovely, watery, reflecty, beautiful place. My next video, I'll try and get it out tonight. As soon as I leave this stream in a few minutes, I'm going to get the thumbnail and I'm going to get my video uploaded. So all of you guys that have watched tonight, if you could all go and keep an eye out and give me a little comment and a like on my next video, because it's a bit longer, so I don't think it's going to be as popular, but it's shit that has to be said, and I've really gone into a lot of detail when it comes to knocking down all of Ryland's talking points. And it is kind of funny because I insult him in amusing ways. Yeah, I've been a bit inventive with my insults on this one. So, Ari, you not going into a bank ever, says Stephen. Oh, I get you. Okay. I'd love to go to Scotland. Dearly Blasey, you'll love Scotland, Tan. Me and my beloved spent the weekend in Glasgow and Edinburgh. We met a few friends as well. Absolutely brilliant it was, and we'll be going back maybe next year. Thank you, Mr. Blasey. Thank you, Darren, for that. Viper Scott, thank you for the £5 super chat. Random Scottish history. Here's the link to the channel, Super Tansky. Oh, thank you. Can I click on that now? Oh shit, it's taken me there. I'm just going to subscribe whilst I am here. Oh, it made music happen. So I'm just going to subscribe, otherwise I never will. If anyone could possibly give me a link to Graham's channel in the chat, because that's where I would really advise people to go and have a little look next when he does the Is It Dead Yet with Scott Williams for his stateside takedown of America and everything that's happening in America. But I will be back in less than a week now. I will be back at my regular slot of Sunday next week in 6 days' time. And I'm considering, thank you very much, Diz, you beautiful, beautiful lady. I'm also considering doing a midweek stream. If anyone would be interested in that, give me a little thumbs up or a kind of like yes in the chat. Because I'm thinking about doing a midweek live stream that focuses on the far right being a bunch of absolute slags. Yeah, like, so I can just like piss off the far right, like a little midweek catch up where I point out specifically all the things that they're doing that are wrong. My little finger's making a, what do you think, Stick? What are we doing tonight, Brain? The same thing we do every night, Tansky. Try to take over the world. We've got some takers here. We've got some takers. Oh, hello. Okay. Maybe a Wednesday. I'll double check that none of my other mates that I'm friends with on YouTube do a stream and try and fit one in on a Wednesday, perhaps. Yeah, all the thumbs. My little finger there agrees thoroughly with this. It's like, it's all a bit red rum, red rum, red rum. But yeah, you are the heart of cool in a world that's not cool at all. Why, man, thank you very much, Neil Wilston. That's a very nice thing to say. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just going to have Mr. Broom in the corner, and then he'll fall over and he will scare me. And then that will be that. I will die. Anyway, I'm going to bid you adieu, adieu, adieu. I really hope that you enjoyed the stream tonight. I enjoyed it. I got to have a good little rant. I can't talk to you. I'll stop talking to you. I'm glad I got to have a good rant. For anyone that's just tuned in, I can only apologise. Thank you to all of you that were really generous and sent me a super chat. That's very kind of you this evening. And all of you that chatted and all of you that sent me messages and were lovely. I love you and appreciate you all for tuning in tonight. So from me and my stick... That looks so weird. Check out Politics Social, check out Stateside, get the intel on what's going down in America. Mostly a lot of people that are really disappointed that Trump's not gone. And you will see me at my regular slot, if not before. I doubt it will be this Wednesday. But possibly from next week, I will also introduce a Wednesday Fuck the Fash Wednesday stream. Doesn't rhyme, doesn't have to, because we're not thick. We don't need everything to rhyme. We don't need 3-word slogans. Anyway, I love you all. So from me and my stick, I'd like to say thank you and good night, you bunch of bellends.
It's the Sunday service. The super dance team. This go be a warning